Hi guys, been called out to this customer's Fiesta here. He believes it's got a misfire. He changed the spark plugs, which fixed it for a little while, and now it's doing it again. He checked the coil packs and they seem to be fine. So let's take a look at it. First thing we're going to do is plug the top on in and see what it says. So I've hopped into the car and I've started it to confirm the customer's fault. Started perfectly fine. That doesn't seem to be misfiring. So either the customer is lying and they just want to give me their money, or it's an intermittent fault or something like that. We're going to have to just have a little investigation with the top dumper here now and see what happens. Okay, so there's no codes. So something I've done is I've checked on fuel trim, because he's changed the spark plugs and it fixed it for a while. I'm thinking that the engine is running a little bit rich. So I've checked the fuel trims and the oxygen sensors. Let's just show you. So this fuel trim here, it's technically a little bit high because you don't want it to exceed more than minus 10, so it's minus 10.9. So it's, I guess it's a little bit low, but it's not hugely low. So it is just outside of parameters, but if you didn't have that point there, you wouldn't know. Short-term fuel trims are fine. The exhaust gases is not detecting enough voltage there at all, which tells me that there is too much oxygen in that fuel mixture. So we know that slightly too much oxygen or air is getting in to the engine and it's causing it to run rich. So first thing I'm going to check, so this is an air density engine. It's got a full absolute pressure sensor at the back here. So I've gone in onto pin 3 there, which is the live supply for the map sensor, and lift it onto ground here, and you can see we're getting our 5 volt reference, so that's fine. We can also touch this with a test light and see that it isn't actually bias voltage, it's actual voltage. So we know we got a good wire there. We've grounded so we've gone on to pin 1, which is the ground for the map sensor, and we've got 0 voltage there, so that's grounded perfectly. Again, you can touch that with the test light and see if it lights up. If it lights up, then you know you've got your ground, that's fine. Another thing we've done is that we've back probed the signal wire, which is pin 4, so then pin 2 is for the air temp sensor. But then obviously again, if we look here, we've got no manifold absolute pressure faults, so it says no error. Touch with our test light, yes error, so we know that wire is perfectly fine all the way back. So I don't believe it's that sensor that's playing up. Now, I was fairly confident that everything up to the manifold, or after the manifold, sorry, was fine. I moved on down the intake back to the start, obviously to the airbox. So first place I've come to is the turbo. Now open this up and a nice gallop of oil was drained out. Stick my finger in onto the propeller and listen to this. That turbo is shot. Okay, so with that turbo having a bit of slop in it like that, it won't be boosting as it should, which means the engine won't be getting as much air as it thinks it is, which is going to cause it to run rich. And it's also, because the oil that's leaking into it, because the seals are gone, it's going to be vaporizing that oil, which again is going to want the engine to have more air in it, which is going to cause it to run rich. And that's why we've got a negative fuel trims, because that fuel has been restricted, and running rich has caused the spark plugs to burn out, and that's why it was a temporary fix. And now it's damaged the spark plugs again, which has caused that rough idle. Root cause of the issue, the turbo.